Yeah, that's sliding for you, all right.
Hello.
You look like a deep sea diver.
Podcast. Yeah, right.
That's from Alien. Or Aliens, where they had the spacesuits that had the lights
Oh,
on.
true.
Welcome to the Simpleton Review. I am your host as always because, I started the damn thing. My name is Nate Simpleton, and we have... Oh, that's me. Simpleton number 2.
I'm Charlie Gibson, Simpleton number 2.
I'm Lemuel Edwards, Simpleton number 3.
And we have a new member of the Simpleton family. Her name is Trista Simpleton. Let's see. She's probably going to bring some sanity to this podcast.
Oh.
At least a feminine view of things, which is probably a good thing because we need it. We drown in our testosterone.
Oh, yeah? Oh, I'm so glad to be here.
Well, we are glad you are here because we need it.
We need the diversity.
One podcast, one episode where we actually had a female reviewer with us, and she brought it, man. She brought the gold, and that was probably one of our best episodes we ever did, and it was simply because she was on it.
And yet, that same one, the editor decided to screw up the video, and it was all gone, and it was just audio that whole episode.
Yeah, pretty much.
That sucks.
But we won't name names.
No, we won't name names at all. Well, part of it, she saved the file, and it was some Apple file. So
oh no.
We'll move on. Hey, today, this week, now, this month, whenever you're watching this video, we are going to be talking about Bruce Cockburn's brand new album, and I totally forgot the name of it. Just totally slipped my mind.
Oh Sun, Oh Moon.
Oh Sun, Oh Moon.
Yes, very good, very good. Bruce Cockburn is a Canadian-born singer-songwriter. He's been around forever. Like, his career's spanned about 50 years. He's very prolific. He's written more than 350 songs on 34 albums, influenced by jazz and acoustic, Americana type music. His his best friend and most favorite musician was a gentleman by the name of Mark Hurd, who is a fantastic individual. Used to be in the Christian music industry way back in the day. Unfortunately, he died on stage while playing music of a heart attack. That's kind of a sad thing to say, but Mark Hurd was pretty incredible. You youngins have probably never heard of Mark Hurd, have you? No. Charlie's heard of Mark Hurd. Heck yeah. So yeah, Bruce Cockburn's been around for a long time. He's known for his activism. He writes a lot of songs about, speaking out for refugees and things like that. So he's written a lot of Christian-based music with religious themes. I wouldn't necessarily call him a Christian artist per se, but he's always been one of those ones that has kind of straddled the fence, between faith and secularism, if you will. I don't know what to say. Which makes him the best type of musician, okay? It's much better than listening to somebody like, say, from Hillsong.
Oh, throwing the shade now already, Ari.
Yeah. What? No. So Bruce Cockburn's brand new album. Who wants to go first? Who wants to talk about Bruce Cockburn?
It's funny that you actually mentioned that he was a Christian artist or, had some relation to that, because that was actually something I thought about with one of his songs, because some of the lyrics were about, like, loving everybody because that's what we're told to do or something. I can't remember what song it was.
I think that's like his second song. The second song. In fact, I think
it was called Orders.
Yeah.
Yeah, our orders.
Oh
no! Keys! We got keys!
Thank God I had my shorts on. That was scary for a second. We had to bleep that one out. Yes, go ahead, Trista. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. That was, it reminded me, like you said, of Hillsong or something, because that's what the lyrics felt similar to, and it made me question, like, is this a Christian artist?
Yeah, he's been heavily in the I wouldn't say heavily, but he's been in the Christian realm, and he's had, albums that have been up for Dove Awards and things like that, and he's done collaborations with a bunch of Christian musicians over the years, like Mark Hurd. He also did, he's done a lot of collaborations with a guy by the name of T-Bone Burnett, which happened to be in the Christian music industry at one point, but he's also the guy who is kind of credited to have started the whole Americana craze back in the early 2000s with Oh Brother Where Art Thou soundtrack, along with all kinds of other albums that T-Bone Burnett produced. So so he does have that, and he still, that's how he looks at life, and that's how he writes his music, is kind of through the lens of Christianity, but through the lens of a Christianity that some people might be considered progressive, which basically means he loves his neighbor. I'm just saying. Yeah. So I don't know what the heck is going on. I'm trying to look for this guy's album, but it's like bringing me up like Mark Oliphant and list of songs about nuclear war and list of A&M records.
Oh God.
Yeah. So Charlie, what did you think of Bruce Cockburn's album?
I thought it reminded me a lot of the slow parts of a Tom Waits album without the gravelly voice. So it's very much song. What is it? The big thing that's a push now is like Beck's Song Reader, and like a few do it. They just write out these like words and tunes, and like anybody could pick it up and play it. And so it's very basic, very easy written, very easy sung. The words aren't, like complicated, and topics that everybody's going to want to get into. And I think that's what this whole album kind of like lent to. Not necessarily my favorite, but it wasn't bad. I mean, King of Bolero was my favorite when he's like doing all these descriptive words to describe this bar player, and when you can have the double chin that wraps around your neck, that's pretty good. So, but it's that kind of like it's simple, but at the same time it's got enough description that anybody's going to plug into it. This one, if people get into it and really like it, a lot of these songs can be covered like really easy. So if they mean anything to anybody, it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of these get covered.
Fair enough. Lemuel, what'd you think?
I thought it was really interesting. It was really hard to tell what kind of genre he was going for sometimes, because sometimes it felt more bluegrassy than anything. Other times it felt more like a nightclub jazz type of thing. It was really interesting. I really liked the vibraphone in orders. I noticed that. He also used I think he used saxophone somewhere, but I don't remember where. I also noticed that there was some gospel sounding music towards the end of the album, and I really appreciated that. Further, he's like really poetic. He like followed strict rhyme patterns, I noticed, through a lot of his music, especially in orders. It was a very strict, like, I want to say like AABB type rhyme pattern. That was very interesting. So overall, I just really liked it. It was a very interesting album.
Good. Yeah, Bruce Cockburn, he's not, most of his music isn't incredibly fast. He's very influenced by like jazz and R&B and things like that a little bit. I like listening to him. He's mellow. He's not like something I'm going to put on all the time, that's for sure. But he's really good, and I think he's well worth a listen, and I think he's kind of a person who's earned his chops over the years, and is somebody I think people should listen to, at least once or twice in their life, so they can say, yeah, I've listened to Bruce Cockburn, kind of like Tom Waits. Yeah, I've listened to Tom Waits' album. You got to say that, right? Oh, yeah, I know who Tom Waits is, It's one of those things like Tom Waits and Bruce Cockburn and Leonard Cohen and people like that. They're those type of people that are like, oh, yeah, I'm cool. I know who they are. Yeah, but does anybody listen to them on a regular basis? Yeah, probably not. I'm just saying. But, to know who they are, then that...
When you're riding in somebody's car and all of a sudden it pops up on a playlist, that's kind of about it, or
that would be my playlist.
Right?
That's right.
Oh, boy.
I was actually pleasantly surprised when I started listening to this album, because I actually listened to a lot of this type of music, and, like, my first thought when the first song On a Roll was playing, I was like, I could picture this in, like, the Walking Dead soundtrack for some reason.
True.
Yes.
And, like, I listened to a lot of that kind of folk, acoustic kind of music, so I was, like, pleasantly surprised. I was like, oh my gosh, yes!
There you go. That works. Let's go ahead and give our score. Tristan, since you're a brand new Simpleton, why don't you go ahead and give us your score first?
I'd probably have to give it a 3.5, because even though I do like this kind of music, I didn't like a lot of the songs on it just for like replay value, but a lot of the early ones in the album I definitely enjoyed and played a few times, so 3.5.
Great, good deal. Lemuel?
I found it very interesting. I liked it a lot. I rated all of the songs like either 4 or 3 out of 5 because I liked it that much. I think I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Wow, that's impressive.
Good deal. I'll give my score next. I'm going to say it's a 3. It's a solid album. It's worth listening to at least once or twice. It's not bad. And it's not great. I don't know what to say. But no, look, I mean, he's still kicking along. I mean, the guy's like 70 some odd years old. I think he's like 74, 75, something like that. Still kicking along. I think he still sounds great for his age as well. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 3. Charlie?
So I'm going to give it a 3 as well. It's one of those things where if I'm walking by a restaurant, I hear a guy playing like this outside. It's like, I'm so glad to hear it, but I will eat inside.
Oh.
It's like, no,
That's kinda hard.
it's just,
That sounds like you should be giving it a lower score than that.
no. Because if I still go to that restaurant, that means I can still hear it. It's just it is not going to be the thing that's over my whole meal.
Fair enough, yes. Interesting take. Well, folks, I'm sorry, Bruce, but your album is not Simpleton certified this time around, but we enjoyed it. We did. And thank you for making the music that you make. We truly appreciate it. And Trista, welcome to the fan.
Thank you.
Will make us so we are maybe not so simple after all. Thanks so much for joining us. Look forward to seeing you guys next time. Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.